Hello, you're watching Self-Reliant India on DD India and I'm Preeti. In the next 1 hour, we discuss and we elaborate and deliberate on different aspects of the economy which help in the nation realize the aim and the ambition of becoming self-reliant. And today we will discuss drinking water. We know that adequate and safe water is important for human health and well-being, economic production and also sustainable development. Failure to ensure the safety of drinking water may expose the community to the risk of outbreaks of waterborne and infectious diseases. Although drinking water is a basic human right, many people do not have access to safe and adequate drinking water or proper sanitation facilities. With an aim to provide safe drinking water to all by 2024, the government announced Jal Jeevan Mission on 15th of August 2019. Where is the mission placed now? What is the road ahead? And what achievements have been made till now? In the next 1 hour, we will discuss all this. And to joining us for this is Ms. Rupa Mishra. She is Director, Jal Jeevan Mission, Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, Minister of Jal Shakti, Government of India. We're also joined in by Ms. Malesh Srivastav, Additional Chief Secretary, Jal Jeevan Mission, Government of Madhya Pradesh. Vinod Mishra, Country Head, WASH Program of the UNOPS. We welcome all of you to Self-Reliant India on DD India today. To begin with, before we talk about where is Jal Jeevan Mission standing or what is the status of the mission right now, we will have a broad idea of the status of availability or scarcity of drinking and potable water in the country. Let's direct this question to Mr. Mishra. Sir, welcome to the show. As the opening comments, I would want you to tell us what is the status of drinkable water in the country, abundance or scarcity. Talk about the availability of drinking water to the masses, both urban and rural, in the country first.
So, I am Vinod Mishra. I am the country head of the United Nations Office for Project Services. Under Jal Jeevan Mission, when this started on the 15th August of 2019, the status was hardly like 17% in the country. The coverage was, but now this coverage has reached around the 37%. After 1/3 of the population, it has been already covered in 2 years of the Jal Jeevan Mission. So it's a great achievement of the under the Jal Jeevan Mission.
All right, I will take that forward to Ms. Mishra. Ma'am, when we talk of Jal Jeevan Mission bringing drinkable water, piped water to the general public, both rural and urban, then I'll bring in this fact that Jal Jeevan Mission brought piped drinking water to Stork village in Ladakh at -30 degrees Celsius. That was the temperature there. Let's start this program and your opening comments with the success or, for that matter, the status of implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission at present in the country.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. As everybody would appreciate, Jal Jeevan Mission is a very different and unique program. While the goal is Har Ghar Jal, the important thing to note here is there is a shift from the traditional infrastructure engineering approach to the service delivery approach. And when we say service, we focus on two principles, which is equity and inclusivity. That is leaving no one behind. And the important part of service is water is provided to people, not just assured by its quantity, but also by its quality. And as you must be aware, there is work going on across the country, be it in the hilly terrains, be it in the arid areas, be it in the tribal forest, be it in the coastal areas. So the water program has taken an intensity across the states, which is quite unprecedented. And one important thing which this program focuses is decentralized and village level operation and maintenance. And when we say village level operation and maintenance, the focus is on women. This is actually a great program of women leadership, promoting women to take decisions in the forefront on water resource management. So this is an incredible journey that all of us have embarked on, and the program is just about taking off in a very participative and holistic manner.
All right, at this point, we will bring in Mr. Srivastav. He is Additional Chief Secretary, Jal Jeevan Mission, Government of Madhya Pradesh. Sir, we welcome you to the show. When we talk of Madhya Pradesh is endowed with 5 major rivers, as we know: Ganga, Godavari, Narmada, Mahi and Tapi. I would want you to begin by telling us about the status of Jal Jeevan Mission, the implementation, and the road which has been, the journey and the journey which has been made so far by the mission.
Thank you so much. I must thank, to begin with, Didi as well as Ministry of Jal Shakti, that I have been given an opportunity to give the status of implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission. First of all, I would like to begin that in my 30 years of career in civil services, I have never come across a program, a developmental program, which touches each and every rural area and the rural household. In fact, for the first time in the Jal Jeevan Mission, the focus is on providing functional household tap connection, FSTC. And as Rupa has rightly put, it's not an engineering project in which we make a DPR, we tender it out, we give it to the contractor and he executes. It is, in fact, marrying of social engineering along with the actual works engineering. If I talk about MP, as you mentioned, we are quite endowed as far as the surface water is concerned. But as far as the underground water is concerned, I am sure all the panelists will agree that with passage of time, because of the over-exploitation of the underground water, the level is continuously going down.
Yes.
So in fact, I would like to compliment the ministry, the way they have actually structured this program. Here, in addition to providing the drinking water supply, there is a very substantial component of water recharging also. So while we have to take, we have to ensure that the water supply is to be ensured, we also have to ensure that the groundwater supply, the groundwater level is also improved. Now coming to Madhya Pradesh, as all of us know that Honorable Prime Minister of the country has launched this mission on 15th of August from the Red Fort. And the detailed guidelines came in December 19. As far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, we were a little late in starting. We started in the month of, in fact, in 2020, current financial year, little late than the other states. But I am happy to inform you, despite starting late, if I talk about the performance of Madhya Pradesh, we have provided more than 17 lakh FSTCs, functional household connections, in 11 months. And let me tell you, Honorable Prime Minister and the Ministry of Jal Shakti, it has kept a target of completion of 2024. That is 2024, all the rural households of the country would be covered by the functional tap connection. But in Madhya Pradesh, we have kept a target for us as 2023. So that is, as far as the beginning is concerned, I would like to say that under this program, we have a structure at the state level committee headed by the Chief Secretary. Then there's a district level committee headed by the district collectors with all public representatives, and the village level. Village level committee plays a very important role, because when a project is to be taken, it could be a single village scheme where there is a good water, underground water table is there, and we can have a borewell and a borewell supported pipe water scheme. There, the villagers decide that where the scheme has to be, where the water tank has to, where the boring has to, and what has to be the layout of the pipe. Likewise, if the underground water level is not good, then we have to make a surface water based scheme. So in Madhya Pradesh, we are having this scheme that is a single village scheme, which could be less than 1 crore. At the same time, we have got the surface water based schemes, which is as big as around more than 1500 crores. So that is basically, that would be benefiting more than 1,000 villages. And I would also like to, as a last comment in my first comment on
Yes.
JJ, I would like to tell the commitment of the state government. I'm happy to inform that for the next year's budget, like Government of India has increased the budget under JJM for 2021 manifold. In 2021, Madhya Pradesh government has increased the budget for 337%. That shows our commitment to the program. Thank you.
All right, we're talking of drinking water here, but at the same time, I would, at this point in time, bring in Mr. Malesh Srivastav. All right, sir, we've just had a comment from you. I'll bring in Mr. Vinod Mishra at this point, who will apprise us more about the WASH program or the drive of the UNOPS. Sir, you know, water is a basic necessity for survival, but at the same time, combining water and safety and hygiene together, and we put it together as WASH. Apprise our viewers about WASH first.
Yes. The first time, as we are experiencing in the country, India, an Honorable Prime Minister has started Jal Jeevan Mission and make it like this water as a everyone business in the country. And it is not only about the water supply. It has actually 11 key features. It's impacting on the sanitation and hygiene as well. And as we have seen the many programs in the world on water sanitation, United Nations Office for Project Services, we are implementing many projects regarding water supply and WASH in the world, in Africa, in Asian countries. But this is the Jal Jeevan Mission, is a world largest community participation project. I mean, based on the community participatory approach, we never experienced such type of a huge program if you see the scale of this program. And the second point is the Jal Jeevan Mission is not only the water supply program. It's about the building the partnership and Government of India through the Jal Jeevan Mission, building the partnership with the many agencies at national level, international level, to cater the issue of the water sanitation and hygiene. The Rupa Mishra has mentioned about the Pani Samiti and BWSC. So Water Sanitation Committee is managing the entire program at grassroots level, and this is actually empowering women and girls both. The Prime Minister has launched on 2nd October 2020 to cover all schools and Angalwadi in the country with a functional tap water connection. It's not only improving the hygiene during the COVID pandemic time, actually it is changing the life of the girls in the school, because the menstrual health, hygiene and washing hand is the key issues during the pandemic time. And through the Jal Jeevan Mission, it's changing the life of the women and the girls. And this type of project never ever happened in anywhere in the world. And Rupa Mishra has mentioned about the equitable access to the water supply. As everybody knows that leaving no one behind is the key principle of 2030 Sustainable Development Goal Agenda, and especially water sanitation is SDG 6, and this Jal Jeevan Mission India is close to achieve the SDG in the country. And Jal Jeevan Mission is not only the water supply. It's more than water supply. It's strengthening the system, institutional strengthening at grassroots level for water sanitation entirely. WASH program is providing the finance sustainability, social sustainability, and the source sustainability. Water quality, as Rupa Mishra mentioned, that water quality is the biggest issue, and the Jal Jeevan Mission is not providing water but safe water. It's focusing on providing the safe water to everyone. And if you think about the fluoride, arsenic, and iron, the other chemical, the water quality issues, The most important is a bacteriological contamination, because bacteriological contamination is the main cause for the waterborne diseases. If you see the entire WASH program, water sanitation and hygiene, so without managing the bacteriological contamination at grassroots level, at the public places, you cannot ensure the WASH benefits
Yes.
to everyone in the country. And this is, I mean, at the first time we are experiencing a huge investment of the public financing in the country. No country in the world investing such type of investment in the water supply. And the last point I would like to mention, whatever happening in India under Jal Jeevan Mission, certainly many countries looking the India on this Jal Jeevan Mission, and the learning of this Jal Jeevan Mission, certainly this will disseminate outside India, and the many countries are looking to learn from India. We are getting requests, I mean, in Pakistan, in Nepal, in Bangladesh, in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, Cambodia, many countries are asking us to support us, and how can we start the same type of Jal Jeevan Mission program in the country. So this is not the only program for the water supply. It's actually program for comprehensive program for the water sanitation and hygiene, and it's the covering the entire component of the WASH, because the grey water management and source sustainability is also key point of the Jal Jeevan Mission. So it's very comprehensive, and certainly UNOPS is a sector partner of Government of India, a Ministry of Jal Shakti, and certainly we are learning, we are supporting Government of India, and this learning certainly will disseminate outside India as well.
All right, we'll talk more about it, but at present we are heading for a short commercial break. You're watching Self-Reliant India on DD India, and today we are discussing Jal Jeevan Mission, Water for All, and how far will that help also in the country in becoming self-reliant. Stay with us, we'll be back after a short break.
Namaste land.
مرحبا إلى الهند.
زري إنديا.
Intu ni hao.
سلام إنديا.
नमस्ते इंडिया
नमस्कार भारत
मुई
Nous
India.
sommes land. Intu.
نحن هنود.
इंडिया
माँ हिंदी हस्ती
हम हिंदियानी
सलाम हिंदुस्तान
वी आर इंडिया
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Self-Reliant India on DD India, and today we are discussing the progress of Jal Jeevan Mission. It was announced in 2019. Where is the mission and standing right now? What is the status? We're talking about this with guests. We're joined in by Ms. Rupa Mishra. She is Director Jal Jeevan Mission, Minister of Jal Shakti. We're joined in by Mr. Malay Srivastav. He's Additional Chief Secretary, Jal Jeevan Mission, Government of Madhya Pradesh, and Mr. Vinod Mishra, Country Head, WASH Program of the UNOPS. Ms. Mishra, before heading for the break, we were talking of how Jal Jeevan Mission is not just about water, drinking water, but about safe drinking water. Now, I would want you to elaborate more, given the limitations of climate change, given the topographical, qualities of different places, locations. How challenging is it a task to provide safe drinking water to the people there? We'll talk about rural and urban households in a while from now, but at present, talk more about how bringing safe drinking water to the tables of the populace. How difficult is this a task, given the way the groundwater is contaminated, is polluted to a very large extent these days?
Yes. Providing water is an easy thing, and people can take water from the well, from the pond, from the river, but providing safe drinking water is the most important, because this is important for the actual health benefit. And if you see the Jal Jeevan Mission guideline and the implementation strategy, the entire program is focusing to provide the safe drinking water. In terms of water quality, the many areas are affected with the fluoride contamination groundwater, and close to Ganga and Yamuna and Brahmaputra basin, there is an arsenic problem close to the villages of and the cities around the Ganga and Yamuna. So arsenic and fluoride and excess iron, these are the main chemical contamination. And Jal Jeevan Mission is focusing to provide the safe drinking water to everyone. And for the health benefit, bacteriological contamination is a major factor, because if you want to fight against the diarrhea, against the dysentery, against the typhoid, against the jaundice, we will have to manage the bacteriological contamination in the drinking water. And for this, under Jal Jeevan Mission, this the entire project aimed to train at least 5 people in each panchayat under the village water sanitation committee, including the ASHA worker from the village, Anganwadi, school teachers, and some SHG women members. So under Jal Jeevan Mission, the Government of India is providing training and building the capacity of the women and providing field test kit to test the drinking water at the tape, through the tape water directly. And for the bacteriological contamination, they are H2S boil they are using to test it. So building the capacity to test the water to ensure the safe drinking water is very, very important. And under Jal Jeevan Mission, and all villages, this project aims to provide safe drinking water. This is very, very important for the health benefit.
Yes, I'll take that forward to Ms. Rupa Mishra as well. Ma'am, I would want you to comment on this, the challenges in bringing safe drinking water to the populace owing to the contamination and owing to the pollution that is evident in the river bodies, in the water bodies of the country. How big a task, Herculean a task is it for the mission to bring safe drinking water to the households?
As you might be aware, Jal Jeevan Mission is based on the basic premise of partnership. And you must have just heard the Additional Chief Secretary from Madhya Pradesh mentioning how there is a flexibility of the designs, how there is a flexibility of the solutions. What kind of technology would be required so as to provide adequate and safe water for a particular area is a decision that is taken very consciously, keeping in view the traditional wisdom, keeping in view the topography, and keeping in view the specific technology that would be required for that particular area. This flexibility is available till the village level. And when the program is designed, it has been designed in a manner that at every level, this flexibility then builds up into a village action plan, which then develops into a district action plan, and thereafter the state action plan to provide Har Ghar Jal is finalized at the state level. The overall program has great focus on water quality issues, which you just mentioned. As Vinod ji was just mentioning, there are specific interventions for those areas that are quality affected, be it with arsenic or fluoride, be it with salinity or iron, etc. You must be aware that on 13th of March, there was a national conference which Honorable Minister, the Ministry of Jal Shakti chaired. And all the ministers from the state governments and union territories have participated. During this conference, 2 important things were launched and released for use of public and the state governments. And these were all keeping in view the challenges that field people actually face while making these interventions of water quality. The one aspect which was released on 13th of March was the JJM MIS. All of you are aware that we are doing water quality testing in laboratories. also communities involved in water quality monitoring and surveillance at the village level. Now, these readings have to be seen somewhere. The red flags have to be raised somewhere. Somebody has to take an action to address wherever we see issues of water quality. So to integrate all of it in a highly technological and real-time basis, the JHM MIS has been formed so that water quality information is available to everyone. And not just that, we have all seen that during COVID, even we're seeing right now, the testing, we've learned a lot from COVID testing. So taking forward these learnings of public health during COVID, we've tried to build this WQMIS with ICMR so that every village, every water supply, every source, every delivery point, every laboratory, every test that is done across the country is mapped and monitored on a real-time basis, and we can respond to it. The second aspect that was launched on this very important meeting platform was a framework of water quality testing and monitoring. Now, what kind of tests are required in which level? Does Ladakh need the same kind of tests which possibly a remote district like Malkangiri in Odisha would do? Let us say Madhya Pradesh has certain challenges. Does Tamil Nadu have similar challenges? What are the challenges in West Bengal? How does Gujarat face it? So the requirements in the field are very, very different. And flexibility has been given to the state governments to work in partnership with NGOs, with technical institutions, with academia, with policymakers, with villages and community to devise solutions. But to integrate all of it in a framework is what this particular release has done. And we are very hopeful that the steps that are being taken in terms of technological support, project management support, water quality monitoring and surveillance frameworks, the JJM dashboard that we have, all of it does go at least a few steps forward in supporting the activities that state government have taken up in providing Har Ghar Jal.
All right, at this point, I'll bring in Mr. Srivastav. Mr. Srivastav, when we're talking of, the implementation of Jal Jeevan mission, the aim is to bring water to all, water for all by 2024. Now, if we talk of the Swachhta Abhiyan, then the success of Swachhta Abhiyan was largely on the participation of people, in the drive as well. So what is your take on bringing in, just a while back we also, there was this point put forth in the show wherein promoting women is being encouraged, for the successful implementation of Jal Jeevan mission. So how can communities be rolled in? How can common people be rolled in to ensure effective implementation of Jal Jeevan mission, which eventually would mean water for all by 2024?
Yeah, you have raised a very relevant issue, and which is actually the center focus of this program. I think, as Rupa has mentioned, the key institution from where the foundation of this program starts is the village level committee.
Yes.
Village water and sanitation. Let me tell you that 50% have to be women. So that means there's a majority of the women. Another point I like to highlight here, I'm sure all of us will agree that when we talk of a rural scenario in a village, when the pipe water supply is not there in the houses, so the responsibility of fetching the water, whether it is from a hand pump, whether it is from a well or from a bawdi, generally in the rural scenario, it is entrusted to the women folk. It could be the women or it could be girls. And what they suffer by doing that? A woman getting a load of water on her head, then if she is a working woman, that means she has to forego her livelihood for that particular day or the part of the day. If we talk about the girls, if they are entrusted with the responsibility of fetching a water for their respective houses, what they miss? They miss the school. So you see, by providing a house tap connection, we are empowering the women doesn't have to go and undergo the drudgery of fetching a water. She doesn't have to miss her livelihood. The girl child doesn't have to miss her school. So this is a very important point. Another point I like to bring in here, see, when we talk about implementation of scheme, there's a capex, there's OPEX. When you have to basically implement the scheme, suppose 100 rupees is the cost. Now the scheme has ensured that it should not only be the government expenditure. Now if it is a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe dominated area, they have to contribute 5% of this capex. If it is an area inhabited by non-SC and ST people, it has to be 10%. That means right from the time of starting the scheme and making that capital expenditure, this could be in the form of the cash, it could be in the form of the material, it could be in the form of the labor. Now thereafter, because once the scheme is complete, if it is a small scheme, it could be in 6 to 8 months. If it's a big scheme, it could be maybe 24 to 36 months. Thereafter, then a village level committee would be there, which will be basically operating the pump. They will be collecting the user charges. Like if I talk about Madhya Pradesh, to begin with, we have said that minimum 60 rupees per household per month is the charges which has to be given, because all of us must understand that ultimately it has to be viable and people have to feel connected with this. So this is on the part of the how women participation is there. At this point of time, I will like to bring another point, that how this program is driving the economy. You see that we, under this program, the number of plumbers, the fitters, and the electricians we need, so it is also being linked with the skill development program. In fact, thousands and thousands of people are being trained at the village level, so that the plumber is available there and the mason is available there. And then the type of boost which has given to the indigenous pipe manufacturing industry. If you see the market, the share market of all pipes, I mean, they are rising. So basically, it is making the country independent or in the manufacturing abilities. And another point I would like to bring in there, though Honorable Prime Minister has initiated a Ayushman program, under which the expenditure which is made on the when somebody gets sick in the family, and as the gentleman from Bosch has rightly mentioned, if you do some analysis and study, you will realize that at the village level, more than half of the diseases are waterborne diseases. So in case we are successful in providing the household water, the clear water, the good quality water, then this expenditure, which actually leads to impoverishment of the rural people, that will be stopping.
Yes.
Because these diseases will not take place. And the last point, I will just like to comment what Rupa said, because the learning which we had made from the COVID, I mean, the same now we are doing for the water testing. So another concept which is a part of JJM is that we have to actually ensure that all our district labs, and thereafter in the second phase, sub-district labs are accredited. We all understand the importance of accreditation. So it is the NABL accreditation has to be done for all district labs. I am happy to say that since the mission started, Madhya Pradesh has about 52 districts. We have already NABL accredited 8 labs. And we are likely to do more than 20 more before 31st of March. And it's good that now the government has started the Jal Jeevan mission for the urban areas also.
Yes.
Now, most of these district headquarters, why most? All district headquarters are in the urban center. So all these NABL accredited labs will also provide a facility to our urban people. They can get their water tested. And I would also like to inform you that in Madhya Pradesh, we are trying to evolve, we are working on a system in which suppose you want to get water of your household tasted. So there would be an app, you just download that, enter your mobile number, and there would be a nominal charge of testing. Once you enter your request for getting the water tasted, the request would be sent to the nearest NABL accredited lab. Somebody will get in touch with you that whether we should come and collect the water sample or you want to.
So this app is available only in Madhya Pradesh?
No, we are in the process of developing it. So I'm sure Rupa will be telling that I'm aware that something is being done by the ministry also.
Right.
But as soon as it is ready in Madhya Pradesh, we'll share it with the ministry also so that it could be shared with the other states.
All right, indeed a novel idea there, sir. But at present, we are heading for a very short commercial break. You're watching Self-Reliant India on DD India, and today we are discussing Jal Jeevan Mission and the efforts of the government in ensuring safe drinking water for all the households by 2024. We still have lots more to discuss. Stay with us. We'll be back in a short while. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Self-Reliant India. Today we are discussing the Jal Jeevan Mission, and before we were heading for the break, we were discussing about how community can be enrolled in to ensure to ensure further availability of safe drinking water. At this point, I'll bring in Mr. Vinod Mishra. Sir, we are talking of the need to enroll the community. I would want you to elaborate more on the programs which are being run to ensure more awareness amongst the people. Now, the efforts of the center can only bear fruits if people are made aware. Talking more about the need for awareness, I would want you to also speak more on the the awareness of the people with regard to the drinkable water, because in rural areas we've seen that groundwater is considered to be the safest option. Very few are the households which get access to well treated water, or for that matter even some close to 8 to 10% of the households only have boiled water. So the crux of the whole issue is awareness also among the general masses to ensure that the water which is being made available to them is safe. So what is your take on that?
Under Jal Jeevan Mission, under this guideline, there is a provision for the village action plan. And village action plan, it's supposed that the entire community will prepare their own village action plan through the discussion, consultation within community, what is their need and what is their problem. And it's not only the preparing and establishing the water supply system, but thinking about the availability of water. So in the entire program, it has been envisaged that there would be a village action plan. The community will participate. All women, girls, and adult people will participate, and they will be aware about their need of the water, and they're focusing on the especially if you see the climate change angle. So like rainwater harvesting, catchment area protection, and the source sustainability, and the
yes sir, please continue.
Water quality. So all the sustainable So for the preparation of the village action plan, we need the awareness, and the entire program envisaged as a such way that the entire community will participate, and it will be aware to know their problems and their need, especially need about the availability of water and the quality of water and system strengthening. So awareness is the key, like Swachh Bharat Mission, which we have experienced in last 5 years from 14 to 19. The same way the Jal Jeevan Mission has been launched by the Honorable Prime Minister, and he has called this as a Jan Andolan, and water as a everyone business. So everyone business means that everyone should aware about the need of water, availability of water, and then the safe drinking water. What are the key parameters of the safe drinking water? So this program has based on the community participation. So awareness is the key, and the ministry and even the grassroots level, the preparation of village action plan at village level, and that contributing to prepare the district action plan and the finally state action plan.
Yes.
So this is the entirely the program is the participatory and focusing on the people's participation and the people awareness. So especially the involvement of the women and girls, this is a big component in this program. So certainly the awareness of the community is the key, and it has the big component.
Yes, indeed, bringing in behavioral changes at the community
Yes.
level is important. Mr. Srivastav, bringing in clean drinking water to the masses is one aspect. At the same time, another important challenge up the sleeves of the government is conservation of the already available water, water harnessing, or for that matter, water conservation of the bodies, rainwater harvesting, could be a good option to that. So what is being done to preserve, to conserve, and to make the optimal use of the already available water?
You have raised a very relevant issue. You see, on one side, we are harnessing the water resource, which I feel is the most scarce resource in times to come. So, as I had mentioned in my opening remark, that Jal Jeevan Mission, it is very well envisaged. In fact, at this point of time, I would like to bring in the grants which have been given to the local bodies, that is the panchayats, under 15th Finance Commission. If I could mention the volume, in 2021, it was around 30,000 crores, which is given in 4 installments. And 21-22, it has been further enhanced to 36,000 crores. Now, out of this grant, which is to be used for various developmental purposes, 50% is the committed grant. What do you mean by committed? Committed means you can't use it for other purposes. Now, 25% of this has to be used for sanitation. 25% of this is to be used for water related. Now, this is where the grey water treatment is the water which is not good for drinking or bathing, but it can be used for recharging of the structures, these underground water resources or the aquifers. So for this, and along with this, all of us know that Manrega, through Manrega, lots of funds have been devolved to the rural local bodies, that is the panchayat. Now those funds are also being used for doing various recharge structure. So if I talk about Madhya Pradesh, what we are doing, when you are taking out water from hand pumps, then naturally the water splashes. So there is a small sort of a nali which is made, and that is taken to a water recharging structure. Likewise, we are doing small little micro watershed works. We are also constructing small size ponds, and there's a district called Betul in Madhya Pradesh, and there's a small village which has actually become the ideal village for the surroundings and also for the other district. Now there, the local people, I mean, they have formed a movement, and they are ensuring not a single drop of water is wasted. And that is the reason in the last about 5 years, the water level has gone up immensely. So basically, I think I personally feel that whereas on one side, as I had also mentioned in my opening remark, we have to do this work in a time frame manner. So while we are harnessing, we must ensure that the recoupment is much more than harnessing. So as I mentioned that, and then, I mean, if you have to do a water recharge work, it has to be a community-led program, as you rightly mentioned. In fact, if I talk about Madhya Pradesh, in fact, my chief minister is leading the program from the front. In fact, I made a detailed presentation before my cabinet. In fact, in my assembly, which is currently going on, Jal Jeevan Mission has been discussed at length, and also at the village level. In fact, like the common people, they are attached to this, and for the first time they are feeling, you see, if there have been a lot of beneficiary oriented schemes in the past also, like some scheme for digging the well, some scheme for making the houses. But if I remember correctly, there was no scheme which was ensuring 100% coverage. This is perhaps the first scheme of its kind which talks about 100% household connection. So I am sure the type of support we are getting from the people, the type of cooperation and involvement we are getting from the people, it has already become a people's movement and the program, and that is the reason I think Rupa will confirm that. In fact, in all the aspects, we are in the top 3 performing states. And another good thing which this program has done, it has inculcated a feeling of healthy competition among the states.
Yes. All right, it has inculcated a sense of healthy competition among the states. Ms. Rupa Mishra, I would want you to, we are approaching towards the fag end of our program. Talk more about the challenges ahead, the road ahead, bringing safe drinking water to the masses by 2024. The challenges for rural areas are different. The challenges for urban areas are different. Put together the limitations. What is the road ahead like for Jal Jeevan Mission in the near future?
Yes. As we speak now, at this point of time, 7 crore rural households have tap connections in their homes. When this program started, just about 17% of the rural population of around, let's say, 19 crore homes, just about 3.23 crore people had access to pipe water connections inside the households. As you are aware, the operational guidelines was launched on Good Governance Day, 25th of December 2019. Thereafter, 15 months have passed by, and we've also gone through times of COVID, very difficult times. Lockdown was there. In spite of that, there has been a quantum jump from a 17% coverage to about a 37% coverage today, 36.87% to be precise. Now, this journey has been an incredible journey. 2 states, which are Telangana and Goa, have already provided 100% of the homes piped water supply. As we speak, around 52 districts have provided 100% homes pipe water supply, and about 83,000 villages have already done the same. So the journey, as you can understand, as you can appreciate, is gigantic. It is very challenging. However, we must also note the commitment of Government of India. The Government of India is committed towards the cause of Har Ghar Jal. Yes. As you would appreciate, in 2021, the budget of the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation was about 21,500 crore. Now, there has been a significant increase in this particular year's budget for the 21-22 is 60,030 crores. Similarly, for Jal Jeevan Mission, While in 2021, the budget was 11,500 crore, the 2021-22 budget sees a significant increase to about 50,000 crores. And we've also heard Srivastava sir was just mentioning about the 15th Finance Commission grants to PRIs, which have gone down to the field. So this brings about 1 lakh crore assured fund availability at the field level every year over the next 3 years. Now, important is how do we utilize it? And the entire model of utilization is through partnership. Just now we were discussing about healthy competition among states. I would request the audience to just type JJM dashboard and watch it for yourself. You can see the figure of every state, every union territory, every district, how many tap connections have been given every day. You can see all of it. Not just that. We go down to any village. Let's say we want to see what is the status of the pipe water supply of our own ancestral village. Let's just type that name on the JJM dashboard as we see the data. And you can see how many families are there, how many families have water today, who is the pump operator of that village, which is the village water sanitation committee constitution, what's the details of the women members of that committee, every detail. What I want to emphasize here, there is an unprecedented focus on transparency, accountability, partnership, real-time data availability and monitoring. A program of this dimension, of this kind of challenge cannot be done unless it's taken up in a mission mode. And for this, various things have been done by the National Jal Jeevan Mission, and this was one of them. Another point I would just like to highlight, while there is focus on providing Har Ghar Jal, this mission has made its priorities very, very clear. And this priority has been decided jointly with our partners, with the state governments, with the NGOs, with people who work with the field. And the priorities are thus. On 2nd October 2020, a 100-day campaign to provide pipe water supply to every school, every Anganwadi center, and every residential hostel where SC/ST students reside was launched in the country by Honorable Prime Minister. And I'm happy to share with you that today about 50% of the schools and Anganwadi centers in the country already have access to pipe water supply. And the program is, of course, the campaign has been extended because states have the challenges, and especially COVID times have been there till about 31st of March. But the relentless journey is on. The priority of the mission is on aspirational districts. The priority of the mission is on SC/ST villages. The priority on the mission is on hilly and difficult terrain, on arid areas. So the priority of the mission is well chalked out. There is unprecedented focus on water quality. Never has the country together spoken about water quality in the manner that is being spoken right now. Be it accreditation of laboratories, be it training women on water testing, be it opening up all laboratories to public, be it about real-time monitoring on apps about water quality. Just imagine the kind of empowerment. We were talking about IEC here. We are not talking about just IEC. We're talking about one step forward. We're talking about empowerment, about village level leadership. Imagine one woman in a village looks at her mobile phone and can see how many liters of water has been available to the village today, what quality, and whether the quality is okay for consumption or not. This is empowerment. This is about real-time data. And this is the kind of monitoring and access to information also when we speak of Har Ghar Jal. And that is why in my initial remarks, I emphasized that Har Ghar Jal, Jal Jeevan Mission is not just an engineering program. It is not just an infrastructure.
It's a movement in itself, yes.
It's a completely different program where people take leadership and ownership for long-term water security while ensuring that every family in the rural parts of the
Yes.
country has access to pipe water supply.
All right, Mr. Srivastav, you would add to that, priorities have been chalked out and there is emphasis on effective implementation, the road ahead for Jal Jeevan Mission.
Yeah, exactly. I entirely agree with Rupa, because the way the roadmap has been chalked out, whether in terms of the aspirational districts, the SC/ST areas, and the quality affected areas. So, and also the scheduling. In fact, it has been clearly laid out in the guideline that first of all we have to address the quality affected area, because they need the attention the first, then the aspirational district, then the areas which are inhabited by SC/ST and which are the remote area. So basically the focus is that first of all you address those which are perhaps having the more difficult times, or they have been deprived, they are more deprived. Ultimately the goal is to bring all of them at the same level.
Yes. All right, Mr. Mishra, your closing comments on the show when we talk of Har Ghar Jal by 2024 and the mission to provide safe drinking water to the populace. How much have we traveled and what is the road ahead?
So two things I would like to mention here in the end. First is about the Jal Jeevan Mission. What Rupaji has mentioned, it's not only the engineering program. It's about the job creation. If you see the number of plumber, technician, masons, they are getting involved in the entire program. So it's like what Honorable Prime Minister called about the Atmanirbhar India. So it's catering the call of the Prime Minister about the Atmanirbhar India by the creation of the job opportunity at grassroots level. This is the first unique thing. The second, I want to close with the leaving no one behind, because the Jal Jeevan Mission is focusing to provide water at the tail end. Because normally when we experience the pipe water supply, only the well-off people used to get the water easily, but the last mile, the poorest of the poor don't receive the water, tap water regularly 24/7. But Jal Jeevan Mission is aiming to provide the functional tap water connection to everyone in the village, to the tail end, so that everyone, poorest of the poor families, should get the safe the drinking water.
Right.
So, equitable, the access to the drinking water is the very, very key, and is catering, leaving no one behind, the United Nations Agenda 2030.
All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us this afternoon on Self-Reliant India. Ms. Rupa Mishra, Mr. Srivastav and Mr. Mishra for sharing your insights in the show. Thank you so much for joining in. So those were our guests talking more about what all have we achieved when we talk of Jal Jeevan Mission, when we talk of providing safe drinking water to all the households, and the further aim of the government of bringing in and of rather reaching out to the people and bringing safe drinking water to their households, to all the households by 2024. So that's it in this edition of Self-Reliant India this afternoon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.